Hi Prasad, welcome back.
Hey, hi Harini. Long time.
Yes, episode 3 it is.
I know, episode 3.
So I heard you're going to tackle something scary today.
Yeah, scary, I guess. I mean, it's all perspective, right? Yeah.
What are we tackling today?
So, we're tackling something called invoicing. It sounds complicated, but it doesn't have to be.
Alright, let's get right into it. Alright, so Prasad, what is an invoice?
So, invoice is nothing but a bill for your work. Whether you're playing drums for a band, you're doing a session work, you're singing at a wedding, you're teaching a music class, you need to bill your client. So, it's nothing but an invoice. It can be made very easy. You can use MS Word, you can use Google Docs, PDFs. Yeah. So, yeah.
Alright, that sounds interesting, but do I really need an invoice?
Of course, yes. Every musician, artist, and teacher needs an invoice. An invoice, first of all, comes across as being professional. It allows you to track your payments. There is no way the client can dispute after an invoice is raised because that's what was agreed on, right? So, yes, I highly recommend an invoice.
Alright Prasad, so I understand that an invoice is important. What are the things do you suggest that need to be on an invoice so that it looks professional and it gets a point across?
Yes, so it's important, and I would recommend 8 to 9 pieces of information, starting with your invoice number, INV001. You pick a code and then you put 001, 02. You get the point, right? And then date, and then artist name, then phone number, then client name if you're billing directly or invoicing directly, or if you're going through platforms like us, MOCHSHA, then you can invoice us directly. What work you are planning to do? Is it a singing piece of work? Is it drumming? Is it teaching? A session work? Then the event date, and then the amount agreed. Very important. And then of course your bank details or UPI. So yeah, this should do for most gigs.
So Prasad, you've been saying that the work that you are going to do. So I assume you have to invoice before the event?
Yes, I highly recommend invoicing prior to the show because one is the client knows or the platform knows that you're going to invoice them and there's an agreement of sorts already. Post event also can be done, but it comes down to the trust and sort of whether the person you're working with is trustworthy. If it's a platform like MOCHSHA, fine, well and good, but I highly recommend invoicing prior or before the event.
Okay, Prasad. So I think that the pointers you gave really help. Now what about GST?
So yeah, a GST is very important if the artist is GST registered. If the artist is a freelancer, typically they don't need it. But the short answer is if you are GST registered, that is if your income is greater than 20 lakhs. I believe that's the current rule. Okay, you can go check it. And if you're a registered entity, then yes, please invoice with 18% GST. If you're a freelancer or are not making that kind of money, you don't need GST. Yeah.
Okay. Alright Prasad, so I understand that an invoice is important. What are the things do you suggest that need to be on an invoice so that it looks professional and it gets a point across?
Yes, so it's important, and I would recommend 8 to 9 pieces of information, starting with your invoice number, INV001. You pick a code and then you put 001, 02. You get the point, right? And then date, and then artist name, then phone number, then client name if you're billing directly or invoicing directly, or if you're going through platforms like us, MOCHSHA, then you can invoice us directly. What work you are planning to do? Is it a singing piece of work? Is it drumming? Is it teaching? A session work? Then the event date, and then the amount agreed. Very important. And then of course your bank details or UPI. So yeah, this should do for most gigs.
Okay, so now that these things have been clarified, where do you think a rookie like me can go wrong?
Well, first is please invoice. So yeah, invoice, and if you are invoicing, ensure your event dates are right amounts are invoiced correctly. Don't do these cash deals because it'll bite you later. And then ensure your bank details, UPI details are right. And then add GST only if you're GST registered. Okay. And in general, all these things add up. You might think, okay, 20K, 15K, but over the course of 1 year, you'll be very surprised how much these add up to. So please invoice per transaction.
Okay. All right. You've given me all the details. You've told me what mistakes not to do. I think I have an invoice. Who do I send it to?
So if you're getting the event or the gig via a platform like MOCHSHA, you can invoice us directly. We also have an invoice format and blog. I'll put the links maybe in the description. So if you're getting a gig through us, then please invoice MOCHSHA. If you're working directly with a client, let's say a corporate or an event company, you can invoice them directly.
Yeah, and I think that since it's a digital platform, everything is going to be on it. The records are going to be there. I'm not going to lose an invoice here or there. It's not like paperwork. So I think that's also one very beneficial part of doing it via MOCHSHA. So, Prasad, thank you for whatever you've taught us today. What are your final thoughts on this?
You're very welcome, Harini. Good questions, by the way. So invoicing is not some vague term. It's self-respect. It's professionalism. Please invoice. Check out our blog on MOCHSHA. I'll put the link in the description. Kindly invoice and use platforms like MOCHSHA. We are building and helping this informal market called live music. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Prasad. Thank you.